Hello, my name is Grant Phillips, and I'm presenting the Scout Fundraising Project Final Donation Report for Fall 2025. This project was really interesting to me because this previous summer, I worked at a boys' summer camp and got to see kids have an amazing experience. And so getting to raise money for children in the Boy Scouts to get to have this opportunity was an amazing experience. To start was prospecting. As a finance major, I had never had experience like this. And it was hands-on, and it was one of my favorite parts of this project. And so when I began, I went to LinkedIn and started searching for what I thought an ideal candidate would be. I asked LinkedIn to filter for WVU alumni, affiliation with the Boy Scouts, maybe as a counselor, or they work and volunteer for them now. And finally, I asked for people who work in an industry or enjoy being outdoors. After finding these initial prospects, I then used Zoom Info to search for phone numbers, email addresses, and any other contact information I could find. And I validated 31 prospects. After validating these prospects, I moved on to sending emails. I chose 14 prospects and sent an email with a subject line, WVU student reaching out for professional experience, and seek to add a polite introduction and a hook, which was being a WVU student. I figured this, if they're from West Virginia or WVU, it would be a great way to connect. And then I requested a 10 to 15 minute professional experience call to get to know them, and everyone likes talking about themselves. So I figured this was a great in, and I would get to learn about different industries and different experiences people have had since maybe graduating from WVU or another college. And additionally, I had a link to the fundraiser to kind of get them warmed up to what I would pivot to and present in the call. I had 2 responses to my 14 emails. This is a 14.29% response rate, and set up 2 warm calls. Moving on to phone calls, I made 8 total calls throughout the semester. 2 of them were those warm calls set up by the emails, but I made another 6 cold calls. 3 went to voicemail, which was expected as I was cold calling, but a 50% response rate was pretty good. And of the 2 warm calls and 3 calls that went through, I had 5 donations. The process involved pre-call planning. I put a lot of attention and detail into asking relevant questions and having a genuine interest for what they do. This set up asking for the sale because I had taken the time to get to know them, and they were more willing to support my cause. On October 15th from 3 to 4 p.m., I visited MegaCorp, and I got to shadow under Lucas Miller and see how he conducts business. In one of his calls, he gave me a great example of what to do as someone who may want to go into sales. After this, we moved into a boardroom, and I began getting experience practicing calls. 1 or 2 went to voicemail, but my final one went through to an attorney for the oil and gas industry. This was one of my favorite calls, and he ended up donating, and I was able to successfully apply insights from Lucas to successfully get the sale. After MegaCorp, my confidence was raised, and following that, I ended up raising $430, which is 123% of the quota, which was $350. This was incredible considering that sales is my minor, and really gave me confidence as I continue studying sales. So my takeaways. My first one was prospect generation. I had never had experience doing this before, but it was my favorite part, and I learned so much through it. The hands-on experience allowed me to learn the most. And then asking for the sale. It was hard at first. I wasn't sure I was going to do it, but as the semester went on, I got confidence and can say that I'd be more willing and more confident to do it today. Finally, insights into unknown careers. As I touched on at MegaCorp, I called that attorney And although that doesn't directly translate to sales, I was able to ask questions to figure out how he builds relationships with clients and successfully serves them, which is the purpose of sales, to help your client. And so it was one of my favorite calls because I was able to apply another industry and how they operate to sales. Finally, and this was one of my most proud achievements this semester, was 100% of the conversation with prospects I had led to donations, which was pretty crazy, and I believe if I would scale this up, it wouldn't continue. But with what I did, it is really successful and made me feel better about pursuing other sales projects potentially in the future. So thank you so much for your time. I learned a lot this semester, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me at my school email, gcp00008@mix.wvu.edu. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.